Okay, welcome to another series of amino acid MCQs. So we'll be looking at questions involving the chemistry of amino acid, properties of amino acid reactions, and classification of amino acid peptides and their tests of this amino acid. So the first question we're looking at today is all alpha amino acids contain which functional group? Now this functional group include the carboxy end. Every amino acid have this functional group, the carboxy end, the alpha carbon, the amino group, then hydrogen and the arrow group that determines the particular amino acid. So every alpha amino acid contains this functional group, carboxy group, and amino group. So the right answer to that question is option B. Option B. Now the general formula for amino acid is dash. From the structure, the previous slide, we have C O O H, the alpha carbon that has hydrogen, and the arrow group, then the amino group. So you can see the right answer to that question is C. This carbon is going to have this hydrogen and this R. Then we have the carboxy group and amino group. So amino acids are amphoteric because amphoteric means they have both acidic and basic properties. And the acidic properties is based on the C double bond of hydrogen. The carboxy group gives you the acidic nature, while the amino group NH2 gives you the basic nature. So this gives you the basic property, and this one gives you the acidic property. So both acidic and basic groups. So at isoelectric point, which is Pi, an amino acid is zero net charge. The idea is, for example, if you are to draw the structure of amino acid, we have CO minus, we have C, we have NH3 plus, then we have hydrogen, and we have the arrow group. So when they say as isoelectric point, means that the charge, the negative charge and the positive charge will cancel out. So we have a net zero charge. So the answer to that question is C. For the zwitterionic form contains both positive and negative charges from the previous slide. That's what we say the amino acid is a zwitterionic form. It must contain both positive and negative charge, like what we did previously. So this is the negative charge, CO minus. This is the alpha carbon. This is the amino group NH3 plus. So you can see that it must have a positive charge and a negative charge. That also is there in the form of a zwitterionic form. We have which amino acid is optically inactive. Optical activity is defined by a carbon having 4 functional groups attached to it. Let's say this is carbon. So it will have A attached here, B attached here, D attached here, and E attached here. So this carbon, or whatever carbon it is, must have 4 functional groups attached. For example, the glycine have C double bond oxygen to oxygen minus, C to NH3 plus, hydrogen and hydrogen. So that makes this one is one functional group, this one is another functional group, but these two functional groups are the same. So because they are the same, the amino acid will be optically inactive, and the answer to that question is what? Is glycine. So because of there's hydrogen here, there's hydrogen here. If we had changed this hydrogen to CH3, this will become alanine, optically active. So there is no chiral carbon or chiral center. Which amino acid is acidic? So when we say amino acid is acidic, it means that the amino acid has a functional group on the arrow side chain that is acidic. So we have the carbon to minus, we have the C, we have the NH3, and we have the hydrogen. So this is the core functional group in amino acid. So the arrow group now will now determine if the amino group is neutral, if it is acidic, if it is basic. So that is what the arrow group will tell you, if it is neutral, if it is acidic, if it is basic. So if it has on the arrow side chain, we have maybe a carboxyl functional group, we say the amino acid will be acidic. For example, if I have CH2 here and add COO minus, so this is aspartic acid. If I have another one here, CO minus, we have NH3, we have hydrogen here, we have CH2, CH2, COO minus. So this is glutamic acid. So glutamic acid and aspartic acid are the only two acidic amino acid. Have that in mind. So the answer is B, aspartic acid. Which of the following amino acid is basic? I told you that the basic must have the arrow group of have a basic side chain. So glutamate is acidic cancelled. Is acidic cancelled. Serine is neutral. Valine is neutral. So the answer to this question is what? Histidine. Histidine is the right answer to that question because of the imidazole ring that have the ability to accept a proton. So that's why it is a basic amino acid. We have which amino acid is non-polar? When we say non-polar, it means that it doesn't dissolve in water. Serine is polar, cancel. Cysteine is polar, cancel. Asparagine is polar, cancel. It is only leucine that is non-polar. So we have if we are to classify, this question now is now based on the classification of amino acid. We have those classification of the ones that are non-polar. We have the leucine, we have the isoleucine, we have the valine, we have the methionine, we have the alanine. They are all non-polar amino acid. They are hydrophobic in nature. So they have the hydrophobic side chain. So their arrow group is hydrophobic. Polar uncharged amino acid. When we say they are polar but uncharged, it means they are hydrophilic but they cannot they don't have a charge. So we must look at those ones that have either hydroxyl group, no, not only hydroxyl group, the one that also have thiol group like the cysteine is also polar and uncharged. Also polar and uncharged. So we have in this case, we have polar uncharged amino acid. This is non-polar but uncharged. This is polar and uncharged. This is non-polar and uncharged. This is non-polar and uncharged. So the only polar and uncharged is serine because serine has hydroxyl group at the arrow side chain. Essential amino acid must be dash. When we say this is a classification based on essentiality, either they are essential or non-essential, and they are classified based on if our body can produce them. If our body can produce them, we say they are non-essential because what will we need it for? Because the body can actually synthesize it. But if we say they are essential, which means our body cannot produce it, so we need it in our diet. So we look at the word, can be synthesized, can be taken from diet. So the right answer to that question is C. So please do not forget to subscribe. Click on the notification bell for more videos on question and answers in general biochemistry.